I dare say that I believe we have finally had the very best episode of Konosuba ever. I mean, we've had some really great episodes, some good on action, some good on the comedy aspect, but this episode meshed the two together. And honestly, with Kazuma being serious for once, like actually taking everything seriously, like he was actually a very good character. I mean, I couldn't believe that he did everything so well. He faced up against some of the strongest in the series and kind of got out unscathed. He took on Mitsurugi, which, you know, he's always a joke, but he also took on the Princess's Guard, Claire. He took on Darkness, if you want to say, Iris, all of them, even Aqua. I was sitting here like, oh man, he's facing the whole team. They're the final boss. And Megumi, now, to be honest, what in the world would Megumi have done? Like, she only knows explosion magic, so unless she's gonna blow up the whole castle, even if she was trying to face off against Kazuma or face off against the thief, I mean, what could she do? She could have done nothing. So I think I love the direction they put it in. They share the same brain cell. Here it is, Kazuma's already feeling himself, but then to have Megumi be like, oh my God, that guy is so cool. Look at him. Oh man, what's your name? What's your name? What do you got? I mean, it's Megumi. What can you say? But regardless of everything, this episode was just so good. And actually having Kazuma take on even the knights, all these knights of the castle. And of course, granted, it's Kazuma's fault that the alarm even sounded to begin with. Him over here rubbing up against Chris. When at first he was actually being really good. He's like, hold on, let's make sure the guards go past. And then he's like, well, wait a minute. It's like, for once, Kazuma, can you focus? But he did. He actually focused and they got the job done. And I have to give my hats off to Kazuma because he was like a true MC doing what he needed to do, getting the job done in a weird way, but they got it taken care of. Now, one thing I do want to say, can we talk about from the outside looking in how OP his team actually is? Like, to begin things off, you know, we see the perspective of Kazuma within his party and how dysfunctional they are. We got Megumi, we got Aqua, we got Kazuma himself and Darkness. But honestly, this episode portrayed from when you are on the outside actually facing off against his team, you start thinking they actually are a lot better suited and a lot stronger than you honestly give them credit for. Like, Kazuma sees Darkness as almost like the final boss and immediately closes the door. And it's like, yeah, we're not going up against her. And it's truthfully, Darkness in her own right is very strong and kind of OP as a crusader here because she's just so hardy of a character as far as strong. But then, you know, mentally she has some things off on her. Megumi is like really good with a finisher move with the explosion magic. Honestly, if Aqua was pretty serious, Aqua could be a real threat. We saw here how they binded Darkness and Megumi, which kind of took them out of the equation because granted, I would think Darkness would be strong enough to break the ropes, but she enjoys it too much. So she kind of just lets herself be bound. But then Aqua, being drunk and being Aqua, undoes it very easily. And if only Aqua was actually focused in, like, he has some really good party members, not including all the stuff we saw on this episode of what he did to everyone. So if the team was actually trying, they probably could take on the Devil King and be a formidable force against him. I mean, they already took on some of his generals, befriended some of the generals, or got rid of some of the generals. So, I mean, if they focused up, they could do it. But it wouldn't be Konosuba. They are degenerates. They are not the heroes per se. They have screws loose. And that's what makes this show so funny. And that's why this episode probably was the very best, because it encapsulated everything. We saw them trying hard, and then we saw them also at their worst. Darkness and her issues, Megami and her issues, Aqua and her issues, and then Kazuma, who normally has all these issues, but then actually trying. Man, it's just, this episode definitely will be one of the top ones for Konosuba in general, because it encapsulated everything. I like the fact that they did reveal at the very end that Iris did know it was Kazuma and that Kazuma stole her ring. And to know that the ring was that important, I honestly thought that after he stole it and it showed that he had it, that maybe the ring was a sacred treasure as well, because she started to say that when she picked up the sword, which was pretty cool of Iris to have that sword, and it looked like she knew what she was doing, that she started to say that the ring was passed down through her family. I was like, wait a minute, is that a sacred treasure as well? To know the history behind it, that ring is supposed to go to the person that she is betrothed to, married. The fact that Kazuma has it is like, oh snap. That if they were to find that ring, they would just off whomever try to turn it in to cover up the scandal of it being stolen. Oh man, and Kazuma, the fact that he almost revealed it, because you start to get the hint that, yeah, she knows that it was Kazuma. And then when Iris like, yeah, the silver hair thief, and Kazuma was just like, man, I want to go home. It's whatever. I'm done with this. But truthfully, the fact that she revealed at the end that she knew it was Kazuma that has the ring, and she's okay with it, because honestly, she probably would have liked to give Kazuma the ring, but through his character, it probably would destroy some credibility from her attendants and all the nobles watching, especially the nobles knowing what Kazuma has been doing. And honestly, in front of the nobles' eyes, Kazuma hasn't been the esteemed character that everyone portrays and the rumors show, and that we know he actually can be. So if she actually did that all out and gave him the ring, I think there would be a lot of flack over it. But now that the ring was given to him in this way, she's definitely okay with it. She's definitely okay with it, because she actually admires Kazuma. It's funny, but to her, in her eyes, even with the flaws that Kazuma has, it is actually better for her, because she has to be this prim and proper princess. To have someone flawed like that, she admires someone not being perfect, because everyone has to be perfect around her and follow her whims. To have someone like Kazuma not be perfect, she loves that. And it's honestly a good character for her. And it was very funny at the end to see her kind of fight with Megami on the same level. So it's like, welcome to the club. Now you two are a degenerate just like everybody else. Oh man, such a great show. One of the best episodes, I dare say, in this show, and I love it to death. We shall see how things turn out. We did get a bonus scene at the very end there, and looks like it's going to progress the story a little bit, and we shall see what happens in future episodes. But definitely make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys are subscribed, because we will definitely talk about more of this series and this season and other anime on this channel. You guys be safe. Take care, Lord willing. I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Make sure to check out the extra content on our Patreon page, and thanks to our current patrons.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. Phenomenon.